This must be the Warped Tour. We're backstage with the Interrupters. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Kevin. I play guitar.
I'm Justin. I play bass.
Man, we're talking Valley Boys right here, man.
Yeah.
Van Nuys, NoHo, Sherman Oaks in the house. A lot of people don't know, man. We're talking about more rock stars live in the Valley than anywhere in the world.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about the Valley is when people think of Los Angeles, they think of Hollywood, Santa Monica, the Hollywood Hills. You know, and then there's a lot of like great jobs in the entertainment industry in LA, but all the people that work the important jobs live in the Valley. That's the working class, middle class area. You commute. That's why the traffic's so bad, because
that's it, man.
They all going over the hill every day.
You know, without the Valley, man, the entertainment was shut down. You know, Johnny Carson always used to joke about Burbank. Burbank's the fucking capital of the entertainment world. Warner Brothers, Disney, Universal, NBC, ABC, it's all right there.
It's all right there. Even there's Ocean, no, not Ocean. What's the studio? Sound City was in the Valley.
Sound City.
So many great records were recorded there.
Yeah. All those great studios, you know. So growing up, obviously you're around a lot of music here. Mm-hmm. What was the bug? Who was the artist, or what was the reason you wanted to make music?
You know, for me and probably both of us, it was we were coming into like our musical consciousness at a time when punk rock was entering the mainstream and it was a little more accessible, and we're talking about the early 90s. And just, you know, having bands like Rancid, bands like Green Day, and bands like Sublime on MTV, and then finding out who they're touring with, who they're listening to, and where they got their style, that was kind of why it kind of made it so, like, you know, our father's a horn player. So we're growing up seeing jazzers and all these like great horn guys, and like he's really into Chicago Earth, Wind & Fire. That didn't seem accessible to us as much in the capacity that, hey, we can do that. Yeah. But once I saw, like, you know, those bands playing guitars and stuff, it was pretty much like, I want to do that.
Yeah, these are all Cali bands, and Venice Beach and Berkeley and all that. And, you know, they ended up rocking the world, man. Yeah. So many artists from California have really set the pace for the world, you know, and music, movies, fashion. I mean, so much comes out of here.
Totally, yeah.
And it's hard to imagine, but yeah, I mean, right in the Valley, you got so many of these rock stars that live there. Linkin Park, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Incubus, you know, list goes on and on. So many of them, wherever they come from, they you know, set up roots, you know, in the Valley. You know, I don't know if you guys remember, but a few years ago, the Valley was trying to succeed from LA and become its own city.
Yeah, they were going to call it Camelot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I do remember that.
And they said if it became its own city, it'd be the 6th biggest city in the country.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
The Valley is bigger than every city besides New York, Houston, San Francisco, and Chicago.
Wow.
Kind of ridiculous. That's a good memory. They wanted to call it Camelot. You
I
got to
don't
ride
remember that part.
You got to ride out on horseback to get there.
But it is a hell of a city upon itself, you know.
Oh, no,
once you cross the Cahuenga Pass or the 405, man, it's like
absolutely. Hey, go get our new record. Say It Out Loud. It's out right now on Hellcat Records. There's a song called "The Valley" on it.
Okay, Hellcat. So tell us about Tim Armstrong, how that whole thing came about. Because I was lucky enough back in the day to put on the Clash's first shows they ever did.
Oh yeah.
And when I listen to Rancid, I listen to Tim, I can hear Joe Strummer, I can hear the Clash. You know, obviously they paid their dues with those English bands, but you talk to the English bands, the Clash's opening act on the first tour was Bo Diddley. They loved all the American artists.
Oh, absolutely, like American rock and roll and R&B and all that
Roots,
stuff.
all that shit.
Absolutely. Working with Tim is awesome. The way it actually came about is I met him on the Warped Tour in 2005. I got a gig to play keyboard for the Transplants. So just through touring with him, he had a studio on his bus, and we started doing studio stuff together. And then that just went parlayed into just kind of whatever studio. He's always producing and working with a lot of different artists, and I engineer, so we did a lot of stuff together. And when we started this band, we'd been working a lot together, and he was into the vibe, so he jumped on board pretty much immediately, and we made that first record with him, and we haven't looked back ever since. I feel like we got a good team that works. He's like the 5th interrupter, so for the second record, same team, just kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, it's nice to have, you know, teammates that understand the business. You know, they've been there, done that. You know, it's not like some guy in a suit saying, "Write me a hit."
Absolutely, and he's a band guy, like you said. So it's not just a producer. He knows how it's going to be. Hey, you got to go do this on tour. He just knows everything about what we have to do for every step of the way because he's done it all. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's great having him as a mentor and like helping us out just along the way. It's been
Yeah.
awesome.
And talk about Travis Barker. I mean, that guy's a whirlwind. I mean, just nonstop hip hop, punk rock, you name it. I mean, he never gives up. What can you say, working with the Transplants? You know, what makes Travis tick?
Well, that's the thing. You said it right there. It's that he listens to every genre of music. And you know what's funny is as a drummer, like drums are pretty much the common thread of music in general. If you think about it, not all music has heavy guitar, not all music has piano, but all music pretty much has drums, unless you're like doing some
rhythm,
folk stuff. There's some rhythm. It was the first instrument. So he absorbs all these different types of music, and then he takes his influence into like this band that draws from punk rock, hip hop, all these things, and he's awesome to work with. And also super cool to us, he let us record our new record at his studio.
Right there on Chandler, huh?
I can't say.
Well, I'll say it. No, that's NoHo, man.
I don't know what street it's on. I do know he let us play his drums, and then
We won't give the address, but we know exactly what we're talking about.
All right.
No, that's awesome. I mean, just that energy to be able to kind of do things your way, not have the pressure of some label, you know, behind you. You know, what advice do you give to the young bands coming up, people that might not know as much as you know about this?
Let's just have fun with it, really. And that's what music should mostly be about. We're lucky enough to all be brothers in the three of us that play, so.
And so we're lucky with that. So if you don't have that, find people that kind of all want the same things. And like he said, have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. Try and do something different, or put your own spin on something that's been done before. It's hard to reinvent the wheel at this point musically, but I mean, the thing is, if you're putting out emotions that people can pick up on, they're gonna dig it, for better or for worse. So.